Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eric Linask. I'm with TMC, and it's my pleasure to kick off today's live webinar. Hopefully, you guys everybody can see on your screens today's title screen. Today's session is called Deploy Branded UCaaS and Win, How to Drive More MRR with the Leading Channel-Only White Label Provider. So, as MSPs, agents, resellers, VARs, whatever your role as a channel partner out there is, or as a service provider, you're looking to sell services because they're gonna generate revenue for you and help you grow your business. UCaaS is a great way for channel partners to increase their revenue opportunities and generate that recurring revenue while increasing value to customers that maybe you're selling other services to, or customers who are looking to upgrade to a better, a cloud-based communication service, and to open relationships with new customers, really by delivering what is undoubtedly a business critical service. I mean, let's face it, UCaaS has never been more important than during the past 15 or so months, when we've seen the demand for UCaaS services increase significantly as millions of businesses struggled to manage during a global pandemic, and they needed to ensure operational continuity in the midst of transitioning to what was, for most of them, an unexpected and unknown remote work model. Many MSPs, VARs, and other providers were fortunately able to help their customers survive this past year because of their ability to deliver rich communication services that enabled those remote workforces. And now, as situations continue to improve and we start looking forward to getting more and more closer and closer to normality, one thing is clear: the value of UCaaS has been proven. And even as workers return to their offices, we know that remote work is here to stay in some capacity in almost every business. Most companies have already said they're not going back to 100% in office, in-person workforces 100% of the time. I think you could actually say that the pandemic created a tailor-made case study for UCaaS, in that it enabled companies that had already invested in UCaaS solutions to make a smooth transition, while others were left looking for the tools that they needed to make that transition and to be able to deploy them quickly. Here's the thing though, as providers, you have choices, many of them, when it comes to what UCaaS services to offer. And ultimately, you want to partner with vendors that offer really the biggest revenue or the biggest profit opportunities. But it's not quite as simple as comparing prices at a retail store. There are other factors that play into that overall revenue and profit model, and it really starts with that first decision that you need to make. You want to sell a white label solution or a branded one? Do you want to build your communication business by selling your own branded service and maximizing your ability to build on that brand and create deeper relationships? Or do you want to represent another brand in your market? Ultimately, they're two very different models with very different value propositions and come with features that can impact your overall profits. The traditional model is an older and a simpler one. The partner sells and the vendor delivers. The white label model sort of flips that on its head, and as a partner, you really own the entire customer relationship. It's a model that's become increasingly popular if you look over the course of the past decade. And frankly, it's a model that makes sense for many reasons, especially if you're working with a provider that is 100% focused on its partners and its partner program, with the objective of really positively impacting the overall value of both relationships, the vendor-partner relationship and the partner and customer relationship. So today, I'm really excited to be joined by Jason Jones. Jason is the Vice President of Business Development for white label UCaaS provider SkySwitch. Jason's going to take a little bit of time to talk about the benefits of white label UCaaS and get into some details about SkySwitch's approach to its partners and its partner program, and what differentiates the SkySwitch approach and enables its partners to maximize their profits and grow their businesses faster. I mean, going back to what I said about the pandemic as a case study for a moment, I recently spoke with Jason on another topic, and he noted that several of their partners had described the ease with which they were able to transition their customers into their remote work scenarios, and how that really helped deepen the relationships with those customers. At the end of the day, business really is about relationships. And this is a way to build those. So Jason, welcome. Really happy to have you here today.
Well, thanks, Eric. Thank you very much. And I'd like to welcome everybody, and thanks for taking your time out to attend this webinar with us today and gather a bit more information about the industry and about SkySwitch. I'm going to go ahead and get into the first slide here. Of course, thank you for the introduction there. You really had a great explanation about what we're doing and where the market is and what's going on out there in the industry. This is my fifth startup, my third telecom startup, and I've seen just vast changes in the market and what's happening with service providers, platforms. I've seen acquisition and merger and gosh, you name it. I've seen it all over the last 15 years, 20 years. But you know, I've never seen a better opportunity than what I see today with the UCaaS market. You know, let it be if you're selling an agent model today or you want to go white label, it all depended on you, but get into the market. It's time to get in. If you're not in yet, it's time to get in. If you're in and you're thinking about moving over to white label, it's the time is now because it is a definite land grab out there. Resellers, service providers, they're all looking for, you know, more and more customers. They want to drive more customers because it's the monthly recurring revenue that is going to be the benefit for your organization. Clearly, that's what it is. So getting that recurring revenue model and getting away from, you know, just that typical one sale model and CapEx model, you know, with your customers, this is going to be a huge opportunity for you. So I'm going to get into a little bit about SkySwitch because there's been some changes around SkySwitch. SkySwitch now is a BCM1 company, and BCM1 is a leading next generations communication platform provider. They were recapitalized back in 2019 by Thompson Street Capital. They are, you know, on the acquisition trail. They're building just a very diverse technology portfolio. We have to be part of that, and we were just a very, very attractive candidate for BCM1, and we were acquired back in December of 2020. And it's amazing that we were even acquired back in that time date, and it goes to further substantiate what Eric was saying about the remote workplace. We grew tremendously through the pandemic, which told us that, gosh, this business is really pandemic proof. The last, I would say, portion of the business that's pulled out is going to be the phone system. It's going to be the communication system because it's how they communicate with their customers. So it was just a very opportunistic time for SkySwitch. So that is why we were attracted to BCM1 also, because we were a channel only focused business model. And you know, you can choose multiple different directions when you're a business, but we chose to be channel only, which really kind of aligned with BCM1 because they too are more channel focused. They used to be more direct, but now with the acquisitions and the current acquisitions, we're building more channel, we're building bigger channel, we're building better channel. Okay, and we know that, you know, when you get into an acquisition, you know, you don't know how your business cultures will mesh and come together. And I got to tell you all, it's been a breath of fresh air for SkySwitch because we're in business now with like-minded people, cultures like ourselves. But the cultures just came together and gelled together very easily. And as we learn more and more about BCM1 and their intent and the way they want to deliver services to the market, you know, and the way we integrate with their personnel, we come to find out they've got just a very long list of telecom professionals with a focus on innovation and supporting our mutual customers at the highest possible level. So it's been a good transition for us, and I'm very pleased about that. Let's talk about what we do really too, and we serve the U.S. and Canadian market. We get a lot of inquiry about, you know, from international markets all the way from South America to Australia to Western Europe, but we're primarily serving the US and Canadian markets. All our carrier interops are with US-based organizations and Canadian-based carriers, and you know, we're serving that market the best. Okay, so that's where we want to stick to. That's our bread and butter, And that's what we want to do. We offer the best of breed solutions out there too. And we're not the only game in town. There's plenty of games in town, but hopefully during this webinar today, I'm going to talk to you specifically about what differentiates us from them and the others. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about our profile a little bit. We were founded in 2011 by telecom professionals Eric Hernais and Louis Holmes, and we're headquartered in Tampa, Florida. You know, they started off building this network and the product portfolio over a few years. They wanted to ramp it up, make it geo-redundant, add some service platforms in there, add a DID portal so you can manage DIDs, acquire new DIDs, and provision and route those DIDs. So they were supporting about 10 customers between 2011 and 2014. And that's when they really started marketing the services in 2014. I joined the company in 2015 to specifically drive the sales and build the channel. And since that time, we went from 10 resellers in 2014 to over 650 plus resellers across North America. And I'm going to tell you right now, it is not because of my effort or my team's sales effort. It was because of the team that we have, all the teams that we have within our organization. And I truly believe the strength and the growth of SkySwitch is attributed to every team member within SkySwitch, from sales to onboarding to the technical support team to the engineering team and just our LNP team. You know, we're just driven to assist our resellers in building a profitable UCaaS recurring revenue business. And that starts with relationship too. And that's really what we've done. We build those trusting relationships with our channel resellers. That's really tough to permeate. You know, competition comes in, they're getting calls every day from other white label providers, and they don't want to move because of the resiliency we have in our platform, in our network, and the relationships that we build. So let's go ahead and move on to build your own UCaaS brand. Now, you can go out there and you can sell, you know, one of the national providers. You can sell a Ring Central or an 8x8 or an Extiva, okay? Vonage, they're great platforms. They do a great job. But at the end of the day, do you own that relationship? And we believe if you are in business, you have a corporation and you're not promoting your own logo, your own brand, then you're truly not building your business. You're building somebody else's business. So, you know, let's focus on owning that customer. So if you're not billing that customer for the services that you sold them, that you delivered to them, that you're supporting for them in some form or fashion, then you're not owning that customer and you're losing control by the day. So what's really important also is channel stealing. You're not going to see that from SkySwitch. It's not in our DNA. We don't do it because our channel is our sales team. It is the sole sales team, the only sales team that we have. And there's just no way we're going to disrupt that, you know, that success that they do have. So, you know, we witnessed this through, you know, our channel of resellers. They've just achieved so much success, and they've amassed that success over the years by loyalty to their customers. In the same breath, we're very, very loyal. So you're never going to see that channel stealing. And, you know, you've seen it out there. It doesn't happen all the time, but, you know, programs change. Companies get there's mergers, there's acquisition, and, you know, commission and comp plans will change. So will it happen? Don't know. Could it happen? Definitely. But you're never going to see that through SkySwitch. And then we also offer those branded emerging technologies out there. Teams, let's face it, Teams is the gorilla in the room. They have grown so much. Microsoft Teams has deployed 30 million, 44 million, I think it might be, new Teams users since the pandemic. It's been going crazy. Well, we have Teams integrations, and through BCM1, we have multiple Teams integrations for you. But they happen to be brandable to you too. So you can put your own brand into that Teams integration. We can give your company a little flavor on top of that. We have video collaboration. Zoom's making a big play into the market too with Zoom Phone, and they've got a big base to go after. But we truly feel that our resellers in the best position because they really own that customer because they are white label and they have the relationship. And customers just aren't going to flip out for just a little bit better margin. They want to know exactly what they're getting. They're just better informed these days than they were before. So do you have the need for video collaboration and screen share? Well, we have that within the platform, and it's also brandable. And the same with our mobility applications. We have iOS, Android, and WebRTC. It is branded under Reach UC as a generic brand, but if our white label resellers want to brand it their own brand and have a presence in the App Store and Google Store, then they can do that also, okay? You can take it small or take it large with us. So if you're not building your own brand, you're not increasing your valuation of your business. Let's look at it. We're all in business to make money or to serve a market or to serve a purpose. If we're a nonprofit, we're serving, this. We're serving the community in some form or fashion. But if you're not increasing your valuation, because every business has an exit strategy, and one of our current resellers, I just got notification yesterday, they just sold their business and they got a 4 times multiplier on their business because it was their brand, because they controlled the customer and they know, and the acquiring party knows that when they go in and they take that business, they have a good chance of keeping that business as the acquisition party. So that's going to be huge for you in the future. Let's talk about the white label ecosystem, and that's really what we have. We built multiple platforms and multiple services around our service offerings to create better profit margins for you. Okay, well, with that profit margin there does come more responsibility. However, when you start building process and within the organization, it's going to become second nature and it's going to be very automated and you're going to become very good. And we've seen this over time and time again, from resellers, from single man operations to organizations that have 50 employees. They build the processes and they become wildly successful on our platform. So we provide you all the tools and the training and the support to maintain and sell UCaaS to your customers with trust and confidence. But what makes up this ecosystem? It's our geo-redundant network. It's a class 5 switch with all the bells and whistles you could ever have. The same bells and whistles that you get from those large retail brands out there. The best in UCaaS, transcription, call recording, SMS. We got real-time support in multiple different ways you can access that support. Apps and integrations. We're very innovative, and we've been first to innovate in many respects within our market and our white label presence in the market. So 30 CRM integrations, AWS archiving, you name it, we got it. We've integrated billing platform with taxation engine so you can bill your customers, automatically apply the tax and the bills, collect it, and just remit it like you do sales tax today. Very simple operation. We have over 18 carriers interopt in our network to deliver worldwide call delivery. You get adaptive LCR, and you get multiple aspects of knowing that the fraud is not going to happen on this platform with you. We just don't have any fraud on our platform. And then we provide you the tools so you can troubleshoot with your customers directly. So you don't really need us for support. We're here to support you in every regard. But if we provide those tools and those portals and those services for you to support your customers directly, it's going to build a much tighter relationship with the customer, that you are the UCaaS expert that they chose to go with, and they will be happier for it. So let's dig in a little bit too about our Geo-Diversity. We spent a long time and a lot of investment into this network. We use this end share architecture, and it's no secret we are NetSapiens' largest single customer. We have more endpoints and more services deployed within that platform than any of their other switch owners. And we are the only and network, I would say, certified cloud partner for NetSapiens. We've got data centers in Minneapolis, Secaucus, New Jersey, Atlanta, Georgia, Dallas, Texas, Las Vegas. Every one of these data centers are completely mirroring each other in real time, and they are fully geo-redundant. So we use DNS SRB records on the phone. So if your customers' phones could not register at a primary location, they will default and go to the next or go to the tertiary location. So it is a very resilient network, very high availability. We have the prominent global relationships. We have the extensive fraud protection policies. We have a lot of algorithms that are running to look at, any kind of fraud on the network, and we just don't experience it. As a matter of fact, we have only had right about 25 minutes of downtime over the last 7 years on our network. You're not going to find us on Down Detector because we just don't experience it. So you know that you can rest peacefully over the weekends knowing that our platform is managed by some of the top tier engineers on the planet, and they're going to ensure that stays up and available for your customers to utilize. We have over 100 combined years of telecom experience, and one thing we are is fully HIPAA compliant, not only from a service perspective, but from a switch perspective too. We've written the code to provide audit and content logs for any function on the platform. So we know if someone opened an email or opened a voicemail or deleted a voicemail, listened to a voicemail, opened a fax, deleted a fax, whatever it might be, we got a time and date stamp and a user stamp on everything. So that's huge when you're selling into that healthcare sector. And like I said, we are a NetSapiens certified cloud partner. Well, let's bounce into the product portfolio. Well, what is this? I kind of talked to it a little bit about on the last screen, but it is about cloud voice. That is the, I would say, the primary service that our resellers market on our platform. It is a class 5 switch. It's got every feature, every functionality you could ever imagine on the platform. And I can provide each of you, if you reach out to us and want to learn more about the platform and get a presentation of the back end, I'll give you a full list of those features. We have the web collaboration, the Zoom-like features and functionality, all under your brand. We do the branded billing, all right? I'll get into that a little bit more deeper into the conversation, but we support 2 billing platforms. It's going to be Rev.io and Datagate. We are resellers of the platform. We sell it, we deploy it, we support it, and we extend upon it. So, we have great relationships with both Rev.io and Datagate, and the taxation engine is built in there, so you don't have to worry about it. We built the processes that allow this quote to cash system to work, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the coming slides. We've got contact center, so if you need contact center as a service, it's going to be there for you with Call Whisper, Call Barge, all those features, good analytics in there also, great reporting, schedule reporting, and we even have a relationship with a company called Datatel, and Datatel is, they developed a product called Cloud Suite, and it even extends the reporting a bit deeper than what we have. When it comes to SMS, we're very SMS centric. We were the first white label provider to provide SMS, and we have extensive SMS through all our apps and programs. Even in our SIP trunking on 3CX, we can do that now today too. And we also have a business SMS platform with keyword responders and bots. Just more services that you can take to those customers and generate more revenue. We have carrier services. We obviously do SIP trunking to any premise-based PBX out there. We have several different fax solutions that are very robust. The video surveillance platform, IP cameras, it is a growing trend too. It's on our platform. We support it well. And we have platform APIs. We have 3 different APIs. We have a voice API, we have an SMS API, and we also have a telco API that gets into our telco services.
Hey,
I mentioned,
Jason.
yes.
Jason, can I jump in for 1 second?
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about all the different solutions on the platform. Are they all included at once, or if you've got a partner who wants to start off, say, with just voice and collaboration, how easy is it then for them if they start finding customers want to also have an integrated contact center solution, or find they have some customers who want to do video surveillance? How easy is it for your partners to add those additional services to what they're offering?
Yeah, it's super easy. We have a basic platform, but if you want to add the billing platform, it's just an additional cost. If you want to add the video surveillance platform, it could be additional cost, or we can bundle it all out of the gate in the beginning. You kind of stole my thunder a little bit. I was going to get to that, but it's great. And it's important because you need to know that you can grow with your white label provider or your service provider or your platform provider like ourselves. So you can start small and grow, or start big and take off. We provide a long ramp for success, and with 650 resellers, we must have been doing something right. And we enjoy the relationship, we enjoy the journey along with our resellers. So it's just a very good program that we've constructed. But getting back to the white label quote to cash centric system, inside our platform there is a what we call a quoting system, or a proposal system, and you can provide quotes to your customers. Again, every aspect of the service we help you with onboarding. Okay, so we'll build your product catalog, help you build that, put it all together, and help you build your quote. As you can see here, these are all 100% brandable to your brand. You can customize these with images and text, pictures of phones, whatever you need to in this platform. As a matter of fact, you can support an agent channel through this quoting system too. So you can provide agents access into do their own quotes, and you can have manager control over quoting. So if somebody wants to discount beyond an allowed discount percentage, you can get management approval in there too. It's very automated. It's got electronic signatures. Once that quote's signed, it's going to set it up and move it right over to the billing platform. That's either can be Datagate or RevIO. We have ConnectWise integration for both Datagate and RevIO, so you can access the switch from ConnectWise and see exactly what's programmed within the customer's, the PBXs, right from within ConnectWise. And it also allows you to put the billing summaries within ConnectWise agreements. So there's a lot of integration that's been built into those billing platforms. But once that quote is accepted, it moves it into the billing system and wants you to add it to the billing system. And it creates it, adds it in, and sets it up for the next month's billing. Then our customers move to our store, the SkySwitch Store, which we have integrated 5 different distributors via API. So you can get real-time updates on product inventory, quantities, and you can order and drop ship those phones all pre-provisioned and ready to go. Once those phones are ordered, within 10 minutes, it pushes the MAC addresses back, and then you can go and provision and start building that PBX or that call center environment inside the switch for the customer. So we've built a lot of back office workflow for our customers, and it's really paid off for our reseller base. Let's get into the target partners. Who are actually good candidates for partners for SkySwitch? Well, obviously MSPs. They're out there selling services to businesses, and those could range from 1 to 50 employees. That's really kind of our sweet spot. Do we have more organizations with a larger employee base? Absolutely. But generally, 1 to 50 is the sweet spot for us. Having a Dun & Bradstreet PAYDEX of 80 to 100. They need to have a focus on sales, because if they don't, then they're not growing their business. and they need to have some support staff. Now, we can offer branded tier 1 support for those organizations out there that are really sales and marketing centric or focused, and we've done it before, and we have that option available. So again, we just have a lot of different ancillary services that we can serve our partners and customize our offering for that particular type of partner. Having some telecom experience is beneficial, but not necessary. The way that we do our onboarding, we bring you in, we onboard you, we train you, and we support you at a very high level. But I look at some of the most important aspects of any business that wants to just go out there and start generating a monthly recurring revenue model. And you've got to have an entrepreneurial spirit about you. You've got to say, I want to go out there and I want to win, okay? I want to build a business that someday I can exit from that business. And you have to have that heart to win. You know, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do it. I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to drive and get this done. And we've seen it. I've got so many resellers that are one-man organizations that have 2,000 endpoints, you know, within their accounts. And they're living the American dream. They're generating great revenue. They're also MSP, so they're doing IT services, but it just allows them to have that independence out there, and that's what it's all about. So who are other great target partners? Interconnect companies. Again, if you've got Mitel, Yeastar, Cisco, 3CX, we're interopt with all these different premise-based PBXs out there, and we can do trunking to those. So if that's interconnects really generate a lot of success on our platform. We've got a ton of Avaya dealers that have come to us and that have migrated their entire Avaya base over to our platform with great success because they knew they needed to get into that recurring revenue model. And then we have some secondary business profiles too. Security companies, video surveillance companies, WISP out there. We don't have a ton of WISP out there, but they are starting to drive more toward us, and we're seeing a lot more inquiry from wireless ISPs out there. And then office suppliers, they've got a big book of customers out there, and they want to sell more services to those customers. So we're seeing that. As a matter of fact, we have some of those office supply companies out there, or even copier companies, that have really taken a unique model. They know that they can sell these copiers and lease these copiers to their customers, and they're packaging the phone systems within those copier leases, and a standard copier lease is 5 years. So they're locking down that customer for 5 solid years by packaging the business communication phone system within that copier lease. It is absolutely a brilliant, brilliant model. What are some of the opportunities and challenges they have out there? Well, we all have challenges, and but you got to stick to your knitting out there. You got to stick to what you're doing best. Stay focused on value to your customers. You got to deliver that relationship. You have to be in touch with them. You got to sell just the optimum value that you offer to that customer, and they need to see that. Keep doing that. You need to minimize that CapEx and treat it as OpEx, okay? So, if you can get them into services that they're paying monthly and it's just an operating cost for them, they're going to be more in tune to doing that rather than coming out with a huge outlay of cash to buy some service or buy some product from you, okay? So the rapidly scaling to secure MRR. This is where every business that's getting into UCaaS, they want the rapid scaling. They want to secure that MRR for as long a period of time as they can, okay? I talked about it a little bit earlier too, about the attrition on our customer side. We see every endpoint that comes off and every endpoint that gets added net new every month on our platform. And we just don't suffer a lot of attrition. So that go local aspect of our resellers is really working for them. Where the Ring Centrals and some of those bigger brands that are out there just don't have that go local strategy. leverage the cutting edge info and comm from capabilities and solutions. Yet, we're going to keep delivering innovation to our resellers. You can leverage that to deliver that to your customers, and accessing the third-party service and platform through APIs and SDKs. If you can customize a little bit for your customers, and if you have the wherewithal to get that done, we can support you on that back end too. So with greater complexity, it requires experienced technical partner. So again, what we've built and what we've amassed really is very complex. And telephony, it's not easy. It does require significant investment and specialized expertise to make it work and keep it working. But that's what we have. That's our secret sauce out there. We've just built a great network. We have great teams behind it, and we just serve our resellers at a very high level. It's a close coordination between a business and a trusted technology advisor to fully leverage the capabilities and features. That's who we are. We're that trusted advisor, for our resellers to help them be successful. And it's our only focus. That's what we're focusing on day in and day out. So drivers of competitive differentiation, you got to have high availability. Again, I talked about 25 minutes of downtime, total downtime in 7 years, remarkable in itself. The localization, having that go local strategy, that is where you're going to win over some of those big box retailers. The cost. Our buy rate is a wholesale cost to you, and it is pay per consumption. It's pay per whatever you deploy. You're not buying a bundle from us, and if you don't use that bundle, you still have to pay for it. You only pay for what you consume on the platform, which maximizes your profitability. So the profit margins are going to be there. It could be 60 plus, 50 plus, all depends on where you're putting your retail pricing. Okay, with the cloud, mobile, LTE, we've got SD-WAN technologies too that tunnel up to our data centers for failover. Amazing technology. So you're going to be right there in the thick of the technology. And the service availability, the technical availability, the support availability, that is going to be your differentiator, because there's never going to be a problem that we're not going to be able to handle for you. We've seen it all over the last 8 years. There's nothing that we haven't addressed or seen that we haven't been able to overcome. So the SkySwitch difference is all about reliability. It's our support and the flexibility of what we offer. So again, the first to market innovations, I've talked to those. The mobile apps, it's unified, video, SMS, audio, faxing. Our SkySwitch Store with auto provisioning and the endpoint management. The web and video conferencing, the branded web and video conferencing, it's your brand. It's not Zoom, it's not WebEx. Integrated SD-WAN solutions, we have a partnership with Infiat. And through that partnership with Infiat, we have some amazing SD-WAN with just superior QoS, inexpensive, allowing you to go straight to market and generate some more recurring revenue selling high-end solutions. The cloud-based video surveillance, and then we have our vBroadcast. What is vBroadcast? Well, we're one of the first companies to deliver this. It's an auto dialer, it's an SMS dialer, and it's appointment reminders. So we built this platform within it so you can sell more services to your customers. At the end of the day, your customers have money to give you. They just need a reason to do so. So give them that reason. Talk about these products and offer those products, and they'll utilize them. We are a white label channel only model, and that's all we're ever going to be. So I know I'm driving a lot of these, I'm repeating myself a little bit, but I just wanted to drive these things home for you. It's perfect for MSPs and VARs, and it just mirrors your value proposition to your customers. We focus on delivering those services to you at a very high level. You're going to do the same for your customers, and there's no customer cannibalization. There's no channel stealing going to happen there. And then we have the best in channel support resources, just unparalleled support. We get it all the time. We get unsolicited emails from our reseller base about how great somebody was, how they really stuck in on trying to resolve this issue. They got it done for them. in a short time frame, and they appreciate it. When it comes to LNP, just how they ported numbers quickly and efficiently. It had issues, but we got it done for them. That just says a lot about our back-end teams. But we also have these embedded audio monitoring tools, so you can get immediate resolution for your customers for those problems. The automation, the back office workflow, the branded tier 1 support options, it's very affordable. So if you want us to do that, we'll take that off your hands. And then we have 15 dedicated LNP staff to expedite all aspects of porting. Porting can be complex because garbage in, you get garbage out. But we make it easy. We do literally thousands of ports a month. We're very efficient at it. And then what are some of the advantages that you're going to get? Well, it's a custom configuration. Eric, you asked that question earlier. Every system is going to be unique and custom built for every reseller application specification. So we're not only going to build the platform and customize it for you, you get to customize that configuration and those bundles to your resellers. You don't have to be another sheep following the herd. Some of our resellers are even starting to package IP cameras with their UCaaS and with their hosted PBX offering. And they're stating something to the effect of, hey, for every 20 endpoints that you buy from me, I'm going to include 1 free IP camera. But when they start looking, when the customer starts looking at quotes and saying, I got a quote from Ring Central and I got a quote from this white label provider, and I'm getting free IP cameras, I'm getting more for my money. So they might see that value there. Feature-rich UCaaS, again, we're comparable to those national providers from a CRM, SMS, call center, and collaboration. Superior support, it's all about service from our perspective and yours. The profit margins are super generous, and you're going to get real-time technology refresh. This platform, we're doing updates. You're never going to see them. They're just going to be there for you. We even went through and updated our entire infrastructure with new hardware last year with no downtime whatsoever, 0 downtime. That's a testament to the proficiency of our engineering team. They're just super qualified at what they do. So the competition, they may be online ordering only. If they're ordering from Ring Central, if they're ordering from 8x8, yeah, you can have an agent out there, but then maybe they might be online ordering only, or they don't get the custom programming that you could offer. And then the seller sales model, they establish price bundles and pricing. So there's a little flexibility there. Here it is, it's solid, it's fixed, and this is what you get. They might be able to discount, high quantities, but not much flexibility there. It's national support, but it's really not that great. You're going to be able to offer just a higher level of support on all the services that you could offer through our platform or from any white label platform for that instance. And the on-site service, there's just no way. There's just no way those big retailers can do that. And you do it, you've been doing it, and you prefer to do it because it builds that relationship. And then again, the channel stealing, it's happened many times in the past, but if you're not billing, there's no protection. So you really need to consider that. One thing that we had that we established a long time ago was the SkySwitch University. You can go out to YouTube and watch videos galore about our products, our platform, our services, our technologies, our integrations. But it all starts with an online learning management system. So when you become a SkySwitch reseller, you're going to get put through our LMS, and that LMS has been designed and refined to train you on how to utilize our platform. And you're going to take some tests, and you're going to get through, then you're going to get graded, and then you're going to get a dedicated sales and onboarding specialist. So you're going to work with one of my channel managers, but they're going to be your account manager for life. They're going to be there to do product presentations for new prospects. They're there to train your sales staff. And then the onboarding specialist is there to make sure that your staff knows what they're doing and knows the platform inside and out. And they're going to be there to retrain as required. You're going to get live webinar training and consultation from the onboarding specialist. We get that quick start program for quote to cash success. We can quick start you. If you've got an existing platform, like maybe an asterisk-based platform, and you want to move 500 endpoints off this homegrown platform that you designed and you put together because it just can't scale anymore, you can bring that over to us, and we've got migration services and dedicated resources internally that can migrate all those endpoints off that platform onto ours and get you billing on our platform very, very quickly. And that's the migration platform services. A little bit about the SkySwitch Store. We were the first to come out with the store here, but we have real-time APIs with Teledynamics, Jenny, NTS Direct, 888 VoIP, and Gentech will be added here in a couple months for our Canadian drop. Very competitive pricing. As a matter of fact, you will get better pricing that you can get anywhere on the web today. Okay, that is a special arrangement that we cut with all our resellers and all our distributors. You get auto provisioning from store to switch, distribution options, and product availability. You get unique product availability within the store. You get different store account options. You get authentic equipment and support. We're not selling third-party stuff or refurbished. It's going to be new, it's ready to go, and supported by the manufacturer. And we also have a cloud cash reward program. So the more you order, the more reward points you get, the more discounts you can generate. Lastly, I want to go into MS Teams, but again, it's the big push in the market right now. Teams is making a huge push out there. So we have multiple integrations. On the cloud PBX side, the SkySwitch brings PBX, life of the PBX into Teams. You've got the whole user portal within inside of Teams. If you get a demonstration from one of my channel managers, they're going to show you that firsthand and demonstrate that to you. It's going to blow your mind. If you need SIP into Teams, then we will go to BCM1 for that. And that's the beauty and the advantages we have of being part of the BCM1 family, is having these additional services available via our partners out there and our parent company. And you can also do direct routing with Microsoft Teams through BCM1. BCM1 also has a partner program that's offered to our resellers. So you can get Microsoft licenses and you can get connectivity. You can get internet circuits and so forth, MPLS, through that partner program through BCM1. So it fully rounds out the service offerings that we have. You get that single pane of glass management, all right? And everything that I talked about there is brandable too from the SkySwitch perspective. But when you're deploying Teams, it's all done through that single pane of glass on our Dash Manager backend, that admin portal. You're going to control and deploy and support your customers' endpoints through our single pane of glass through that admin console. Makes it very, very easy for your team. And then we're going to have SMS support on the SIP trunks in Q4 2021 for the 3CX product. Okay, so getting started, what does it take? Well, the process is very simple. Get a demonstration, understand what we do, finalize your MSA with our SkySwitch sales rep. It gets moved right over to onboarding. They'll start that onboarding process, and then you're going to be moved right over to live training on the modules with a SkySwitch onboard specialist. At every touch point in our organization, you should be thoroughly impressed. From the sales, from the knowledge of our salespeople to the onboarding specialist, and when you get over to the support team, you should be impressed at higher levels all the way through, and that is our goal. So our goal is to get this done within 30 days. Sometimes it takes longer if you get busy, but we can ramp you up and get you going and get you successful. So I thank you for the time today. I know I said a lot and I went through a lot, but this is a time where we have some Q&A. If you have some inquiry and you want to get a presentation from one of my channel managers, feel free to just fill out send me an email at sales@skyswitch.com and we'll get that done pronto for you. Eric, I'm going to go back to you.
You got it. Thanks, Jason. Some fantastic information there. Hopefully very useful for our audience. Just a couple of quick comments before we get to the Q&A. Yeah, I see a few questions coming in. If you do have questions, now's the time to submit those to us. We do have some time left over for those. Also, if you're interested in the presentation deck from today, it is available in the handouts section of your online interface. So feel free to grab that. And if you have additional questions after today's event, or you want to get some even more information from SkySwitch, you'll be getting contact information in a follow-up email that will also include details on accessing the on-demand version of today's webinar. And certainly feel free to pass that along to any of your colleagues who may not have been able to join us live for today's event. Jason, you talked about kind of who the ideal partner for SkySwitch is. What about those partners and customers? How does the SkySwitch platform scale? What size customers make sense for your partners?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it just really I would say it's very non-conclusive. We have resellers that sell 1 to 5 endpoints, and we have a call center with 850 endpoints and agents. So the largest I think that we have is about 1,300 endpoints, and it's a multiple location, about 25 locations. So the platform, the switch, is 100% scalable and multi-tenant. So there's no limitations to the amount of extensions that you can deploy on one single account.
Thanks, Jason. We're getting closer and closer to an important deadline around robocalls and stir shaken. What are you doing, or do you have partners that you're working with that are handling stir shaken?
Yeah, absolutely. That would be on the carrier level. We are not a CLEC. We partner with multiple carriers across the United States with the bandwidth.coms and then Telequents and just Distributel and FlowRoute. And we, like I said, we had 18 different carriers that we support. They are supporting stir shaken. They're compliant with stir shaken. They will meet the deadline in June, and which will fail over to all our customers by virtue of our connectivity through those carriers. So it's going to be supported 100%.
Thanks, Jason.
And that's going to be the same for Kerry's Law also and the Ray-Baum Act.
Gotcha. Great points, Jason. And I know you touched on this earlier, but I just want to confirm for some folks in our audience, the SkySwitch service is available in North America only?
Today, yes. I mean, North America is going to be the best served market because all our carriers are North American. So you'd be able to buy DIDs out of North America. You could provision those in other countries, but when you start having local DIDs or PSTN calls from, let's say, Venezuela, routing back into our switch in America, there could be some latency issues that you might run into outside the US. We do have some international plans, but currently, the resellers that are best suited to utilize the platform and to build a business upon it, are going to be located in North America. Mexico could be another option, but we currently do not have any Mexican resellers on the platform.
So you talked a little bit about the onboarding process, and that it seems fairly straightforward, and like everything else that you talked about, you really do seem to take a very careful and a very partner-centric approach to it. Do you have partners? How do you handle partners who might be switching over from other white label providers?
Well, first and foremost, we talk about why they're moving over, what features and functionality they're looking for. We make sure that we can deliver what they need, and there's going to be different nuances between switches, right? So, some of our white label competitors, use asterisk-based switches or derivatives of, and being able to bring those into our platform. We've had no problem getting it done, but sometimes it is on a manual process. And that's why we offer internal resources that do a lot of that forklifting of that for our resellers. So, and our new customers, they're trying to run a business. So to go in and say, I'm going to move 500 endpoints off this platform onto the SkySwitch platform, there's a lot of work involved because there's no real automated way to get it done. And that's why we'll take some internal resources to assess it. We got a project manager that'll manage it for them, that'll set the stage for success, what we're going to do, how we're going to do it, the QA, the quality assurance and getting it done, the checks and balances that we need to do. So when we flip it, everything is going to be seamless to the end user. They should have no idea that the phone system just flipped over to a new network. We've done it 10 to 20 of times, and we've experienced great success with it. So we're very experienced at getting it done.
Thanks, Jason. Can you talk a little more about the Cloud Cash program and how that works?
Cloud Cash is just a reward program that we built inside the SkySwitch store. So as you order more phones or specific phone models, our distributors put a value of cash on those particular models. So it is kind of focused on them trying to promote some of those new endpoints that they have or existing endpoints, or for whatever reason it can be attached to an endpoint, and you will get specific Cloud Cash amounts for those particular endpoints. Every distributor is different, so there's a lot of variation of what you can offer and what you can order. If we look at what's most important to our resellers out there and potential new resellers coming on board, the two most, I would say, popular manufactured endpoints on our platform are going to be Yealink and Polycom. But we have all of the above on our platform, from Astra to Grandstream to Cisco to Panasonic, Fanville, you name it, we got them on there.
And how do you go about picking the distributors that you work with through the SkySwitch store?
Well, we've got in the reseller settings, there's a place for API credentials. So you would establish a relationship with that distributor, and then we would punch in your API credentials and your login credentials to their account, and then it would sync up your account through our store. So everything you order, you will get your discounts. And even if you're a 3CX dealer and you want to order 3CX licenses through our store, you can do that too, and you'll get all your appropriate dealer level discounts in there. And then you're going to earn your Cloud Cash rewards on top of that.
Got it. Thanks, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
We have time for one or two more questions here. So sticking with the SkySwitch store, have you ever had a situation where a partner or their customer is looking for something that's just not available through the SkySwitch store? What happens in that situation?
Yeah, sometimes, you know what, you can't put everything in the store. Again, it's an API feed, so we're pulling their inventory directly from the distributor, and we're populating in the store what we think is going to be best served to our resellers. Obviously, our distributors distribute hundreds of thousands of products that aren't going to be UCaaS centric, so we're not going to carry those products in the store, but anything that's going to complement our switch and our services is going to be listed in that store. So it's up to the distributor what they're going to display via that API feed, but if they don't see something they don't want, they can always call the distributor and order it direct at that point.
Got it. Thank you, Jason. And so, for the most part, SkySwitch is obviously kind of behind the scenes with most of your partner. Are there circumstances where you guys are actually not quite 100% behind the scenes, and your partners end up kind of leveraging your brand or your network as kind of a to enhance their value to their end customers?
That's a great question. And I'm going to tell you, historically, it never started off like that. Everybody wanted to own their own brand, and they wanted to keep SkySwitch behind the scenes. And they just wanted to speak to, their products, their services as their infrastructure, which was fine with us. But as we grew and we became more of a prominent player out there, our network infrastructure, uh, our high availability, our uptime, the success that we had as an organization, people know about us. And so now we have resellers that even advertise that, yeah, they're SkySwitch resellers. They're leveraging our infrastructure and the quality of our infrastructure, and they're using that as a sales tactic to get more business. So yeah, it varies, from reseller to reseller, but yeah, we're very proud that now they're kind of bringing us from behind the scenes and from behind the curtain, so to speak, and to the forefront because of the reputation that we've built out there.
That's wonderful, Jason. We are actually to the end of the time that we have for today's session. I know there are a few more questions that have just come in. I know there's a few questions specifically asking about pricing, and I'm going to let Jason and the SkySwitch team get back to you offline directly to talk about those questions and any other questions you may have. Again, if you have any additional questions, want to get even more information about the SkySwitch platform, feel free to reach out to the SkySwitch team. Contact information will be in your email inboxes tomorrow. So with that, Jason, I want to thank you very much for spending some time talking about SkySwitch and the platform and how you approach your partner relationships. And hopefully for everybody in our audience, it was some great information. We thank you for taking time out of your busy days as well. So with that, again, we're out of time, and I wish everybody a fantastic afternoon. Thank you and good afternoon.